So I came to visit some of my friends on their allotment today, and I noticed that they had hollyhocks and foxgloves, and I said, pretty please, I can see your flowers, probably volunteers, have reached the end of their season, and there's plenty of seeds to for them to reseed themselves. Do you mind if I have some? And they said yes. So I've got my envelopes, and apparently these are different colours. So I've got some of these already. They cut me some there and then, but these are different colours. So I'm going to grab some different ones, and we'll see if we can grow these for next year. So you sit there, and I'm just going to pop some into these seeds. I don't need a million, just a couple of flower heads. I should get so many in each one. There we go, that's all I need of that one. Let's get a different colour. Now for the foxgloves. There we go. So I'll put those in early next year. Might polytunnel them up, and we'll see what we get. Exciting! Day 6. It's a beautiful Sunday morning. It's about 8:30, and as you see, the sun is out, and there are clouds in the sky. Let's show you. There we go, some clouds, but the sun is extremely bright. And the temperatures, well, it's about 18 degrees now. It's assuming to go up to about 21 degrees. Hello. And that'll be later in the afternoon, but in the meantime we're going to carry on. We're going to dig this section, which is that section there. Let me just turn the camera around and we'll walk around. There we go. So it's in line with the part that we've already dug, and this was divided by carpet down the centre. So I'm going to dig the other half, but all of these 3 plots here, this one that I had the bonfire on, as you see, there's a little bit of ash left there, and this side, I'm just going to use the hoe. Just going to hoe it because it looks as though it's been presented anyway. And this side here, and probably this side here, I'm going to green manure. That side I'm going to pea and bean. So, well, the green manure will probably be peas, but they'll be dug in over the next thing. So I'll probably green manure this bit as well. This is the worst of the plots as far as I could see, not including that side there. Ignore that carpet, it's just laid out there. I hate carpet, I will be getting rid of it very, very soon. And there's our beautiful pond in the morning. Now that pond has gone down a couple of inches since the last rainfall. And the reason being is that we haven't had any rainfall since. It's been absolutely dry. So we'll see if it actually is at risk of drying out. I was talking to another plot holder and we were talking about making a permanent area with a liner somewhere around the centre here, putting up a bank of earth that we can dig up from the bottom. It's beautiful soil in there. It really, you could grow tons of stuff in there. But yeah, so we'll build up a little bank all the way round in a circle and put a liner in there, and then that should keep some of it at least for longer. I mean, if it's going to be a hot summer like it was today, probably we won't have any chance of keeping it moist throughout. But yeah, I'd love, as I say, I seriously want to clear all this, make it a little focal point, you know, nice fire flares and stuff. But first of all, let's dig. You don't want to watch me 2 hours of digging, do you? Okay, I've done. There we go. What's the time? Okay, I've done. There we go. That's 2.5 hours digging. Now I've not done this last foot, and I'll show you why. The whole of this here has some sort of root. Let me show you what it looks like. It's this stuff. It seems to grow in ever increasing thickness, like a tree root or something. I can't, you know, it probably is tree root. So I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to get a bigger hoe, one of the digging hoes, and just hack the whole thing out deep, and then see what we got. The same hoe I'm going to get to do around this tree bank here. But there we go. So that's the last plot done. Now I'm going to bring, it's 10:30 now, so I'm going to have a few hours break, let the heat of the day go by. The midday sun only falls on horses and Englishmen. And then I'm going to come back down and I'm going to hoe the rest, get nice tilth on everything, nice colour, get rid of all these little bits of weed. And then it'll be easier for me to monitor the weed situation over the winter. Yeah, can't wait to get the strimmer back online so I can get this area strimmed down and covered, and then we'll see what we got there in the new year after all the weeds have died back a lot. And we need to burn more of the perennial weeds again. Look at it. I know some people would just mount these up and just let them rot down for 2 to 3 years, but there'll be more weeds. I have a feeling there's going to be a lot more weeds yet, so I will burn the majority, maybe just save the juicy ones like the dandelions and stuff. Here we go. All right, I'll see you in a few hours. It's Sunday evening. I did come down during the day and did some tinkering, some pottering. Oh, look at my beard. That's it. Shower tonight as soon as I get in, and we'll have that away. Yeah, but I didn't do any recording this afternoon because of people around, and I do feel very conscious. I had a meltdown, about 3 or 4 days ago. I was down here, it was very hot, and people coming along and talking to me on the allotment, and most of them are very good people with very good advice, but then you get some that come along and say, oh, you don't want to do what he says, and that's not really a Norfolk accent, is it? Sorry, people from Norfolk. You know, you don't want to do what he says, or he's you know, he's trouble, don't listen to him, and that type of stuff, and that type of politics and rivalry and posturing and testosterone overload just gets me down. And I did go home and have a couple of totties too much of the old honey whiskey, which I've now run out of, thank goodness. And I got a bit melancholy, and I did actually make a mental health video, which I shall put out roughly about the same time as this one, with a cover up to say that it's fine, it was only a short one. But yeah, so the actual allotment is actually looking grand. So I'm going to show you what it's like now. First of all, look, we have a new addition to our family. I'm going to turn the camera around. Alakazam. We have kale. The same people that gave me our leeks also had some kale that he offered to someone else, but the someone else found there was too much and he didn't need it all. Look, it's gorgeous. It's all watered in. I've trod it in firmly. That's why it's like got a moat around each one. Brassicas tend to like a bit of a firm ground, so I've trod it all in to make sure that there's a nice firmness around it, and I'll rake it all around and hoe it so it looks nice afterwards. But yeah, all in, all watered. The leeks are all watered. I might pull up the sides as they grow a bit, keep them blanched, but we'll see. You know, some people do, some people don't. I've dug that out, as you know, as you saw this afternoon, and I've hoed all of this. So in this one I'm going to put dwarf beans, a big couple of rows of dwarf beans. I've got 2 types, I believe, and I'm going to put some peas in as well. So it's peas and dwarf beans in here. Next to this kale, if it takes well, I'm going to put some cauliflower, a couple of rows of cauliflowers. And I might do some, what else have we got? Spinach, might do some. The trouble is I don't have any netting or anything yet. You know, and as you see, I'm by the trees and the pigeons sit on that wire. Look, oh, thank you. Hello, darlings. What you just planted there, mate? Yeah, so they sit on that wire, and you know, they spy out the goodies. So I've hoed and raked all this nice, and that's all I'm doing now as far as the beds are concerned for this year, except starting tomorrow I'm going to mark out the paths properly and start digging them out, and it will start with this plot. Now the path is probably about, let's get you here so you can see down it, is probably about from here to there. That's probably the path. And now I've got to cut that all the way down. So if you think of those far beds, there's probably about a foot too much maybe 2 foot too much. I don't know, I'll have to work it out. Actually, probably where that big post is for what was the raspberry cane support is probably the edge of the path I want to make. So from there, let's take a shot from this side, shall we, people? Ignore this. This is all mine, just needs a little bit more work with the trimmer. So from there, probably in that type of angle, you can see what I've got to cut away. So I'll do that, so, you know, starting, I'll do a bit each day. I'm not going to rush it. Like I've done these plots, you know, I did half of that top one day, then the other half, then that another. There's no rush. I mean, my back is aching. I know I've been exercising, and my wrists are definitely aching. So I'm definitely exercising parts that I haven't done before. But it's exciting. I'm outside. The weather's been beautiful. I mean, it's been hot and I've been melting a bit, but that's fine. That's what the body needs when it's been sitting around for 6 months eating crisps, chips in America, and biscuits, cookies in America, and just eating junk food and drinking too much. So, you know, I mean, it's great. I'm getting a very large pile of perennial weeds I'm going to need to burn. Some of them I can sort and put in the heap, but there's so much more to do. And of course I need a strimmer for this, then I'll cover it. You know, so much I can do. This end plot, as Tuesday should be the start of showers, so Monday evening I might start putting in the peas for the green manure. I've got cheap peas and I can put loads in and then dig them in the new year, and this could be a salad bed, or it could, if the peas go well, I could do more peas in here. That's the thing with legumes, they're more forgiving than brassicas and roots when it comes to growing the same section year after year. That is the strawberry bed. That will probably be coming out, and I will probably do something else with this, because I imagine the actual ground underneath is horrendous with the trees and things. It's the closest plot to the trees. We'll see. There's plenty more that we could do, more fruit bushes, and so on and so forth. Monday, day 7. Officially 7 days since I've had a week since I've had access to this beautiful little spot of Norfolk countryside. It's early in the morning, not quite 8 o'clock, and there's still lots of road traffic despite it being what we call a bank holiday. That's all the banks are shut and a lot of the shops won't open. But tourism attractions, of course. It's the last bank holiday of the year, if I remember rightly. Anyway, today's attention to detail will be this area here. All of this plot here. If you look, let me switch around. Here we go. If you look where that post is, you can see there's a demarcation line. So I shall be digging out this. Well, it's half a metre there to almost 2 metres there, I should imagine, of unused territory which I have access to, and get that done. I mean, and then that'll probably be it for today, because that's probably a challenge in itself. And then over the next few days, although look at that horrible sky. Yeah, and no rain is forecast today, but I'm not so sure. Yeah, it's not looking good. But, well, I say not looking good. Of course, it's just what the ground and soil needs. We just need a lot of rain. Strange black hole just behind the mound there. Right, okay, so let's start digging. It's what? It's Monday evening, bank holiday Monday evening. Yes, It's been such a long time since I spoke to you. Well, a couple of things happened. Let me show you how far I got. There we go. I got I suppose area wise it's about half of it. It's much heavier going than all the rest that I've actually done. I mean, it's about 5 o'clock today, 1700 hours, and it's breezy, so hopefully there's not too much interference on the video. And it's chilly. It's I've got my thing on. It says 18 degrees, but I think with the wind it's actually cooler than that. It probably feels about 14, 15. That's all of the weed I took out of just that small area at the top, and I've laid it out to dry out a bit because I'm going to give it a good shake and then burn it. It's all kush it's all kush grass. Yeah, it's not going to compost anytime soon, and it will probably just grow inside the compost, so I'll burn that. Just as this pile here is all nasty perennials, bindweed and stuff. Some of it I'll take out, but there's a lot of ivy in there. What's that on the bottom of the ivy? I don't know. Some insect. Yeah, so there's lots of ivy in there. So the ivy I'll let dry a bit and then burn. There are some things in there which I can make use of, but again, most of it is awful stuff. So again, that pile will burn. That's the compost pile as it is at the moment. I'm going to look to move that at some point, because for a start it's under the trees, which probably isn't the best part for it. It will still get sunlight, but not much rain. So I may actually move it into that corner over there, and that way it will be out of the sunlight. But we'll see. Still plenty of time left, and I don't have any facilities for actually making any other compost bins. So that's it for the time being. Now, what am I going to do this evening? Well, I took a look in my shed, and my green manure has gone balmy. So these peas are dried peas. They're 89p for half a kilogram. That's about half the packet. Now that's obviously much cheaper than any peas you're going to buy from a supplier, unless you buy in bulk. So I thought I'd experiment. They seem to have worked, so I'm actually going to plant these out now as a green manure on this side here, and then the other half can go on that side later on. I'll buy something like a mustard or something to go on this area. Then I'm going to plant proper beans and peas in that area, and then that area obviously will just be as it is, and we've already talked about that one. There we go. So I'm going to get on with this, and I'll show you my progress later on. It's the evening and it's cooled down, and look, I've got my Galaxy earbuds in. I don't know if they have music. And they're off. Yeah, so I haven't recorded much today, and I haven't dug much today. Let's show you what I have done. I told you about peas. Look, there they are. Oh, hang on. There we go. Told you about the peas, and they're in. Now I'm pretty certain that a lot of them are going to get eaten by mice or birdies or slugs or anything, but you know, 89p, I mean that's about 40p worth. I'll be honest, it's about 40p worth in there, and it's an experiment. They're probably not hardy. They'll probably die at the first frost, and like mid-November or something, but you know, whatever, it's a green fertilizer. If it grows a bushy bit, that's great. I'll just leave it on top and it can veg in over the winter, and if it does die early, then I'll just plant something else in its stead. As I say, I'm probably going to put mustard on this side. That side is going to be proper beans with dwarf beans and probably some overwintering peas as well. There we go. And then I'll probably do some other crop on there. See how we get on. Right, that's going to be it. It's late in the evening now. I've waited until late because it's been quite busy on the allotment, being a bank holiday Monday. Lots of people coming down and visiting all the time. So all that still got to be sorted and burnt. Some of it to go on the compost pile, some of it onto the burn pile. And I have watered the kale. Is it spinning in? Maybe not. I have watered the kale and I've watered the... I'll just fall down the bank there. These paths that are here are very uneven, so one of the things I will have to do is shore them up and I mean, they're made of couch grass, for God's sake, so I need to cut all that out and replant them with proper grass. But yeah, there's the watered things, and there's still that amount to remove. Not too bad. I think I've done a good job considering how heavy it was to actually move out. I don't think I'll be doing any more tomorrow. My back's aching actually, and I don't want to overdo it, so it'll probably be Wednesday. If I do come down tomorrow to do anything, what I may do is do a bit more on this bank, maybe just drag out a bit more of the ivy. It's coming off, you know, bit by bit, and I'll rake it and see what's left. I mean, the thing is, I'm never going to get rid of it easily, so you know, expectations, I'll probably get little strands coming through, but as soon as I see a little strand, I'll you know, grab it, pull it out, stop it growing anymore, and eventually I'm hoping over the course of a year, maybe 2 years, it'll just weaken off. As you see, I've attacked all that, hacked it all back. Look how thick it is, look how dense. There's more of the horrible stuff here. It's all got to be burnt, it will be burnt. I need to find a pot to make a stew, comfrey, dock leaves, anything. Make a stew to act as a fertiliser, a natural organic fertiliser. This will be a project soon, clear all this. I mean, look, that tree's actually dead. It's got some tiny shoots on, but practically dead. It needs cutting out. I'll talk to my neighbour, Ronnie, whom I met today, because he's actually the council handyman, and I'll just check with him, and maybe he's got the tools. If not, I'll borrow them, get some done. I think that plot's actually vacant at the back. I think they had an inspection a little while ago, so some of the I think there were 3 plots that were below standard and are going to get an order to recommence activities or else. So we'll see. Alright, so that's how the plot's looking at the moment. Quite pleased with progress considering it's been 7 days. 7 days, seven long days, and an aching back. I'm really pleased. Not about the achy back. Tomorrow. Bye. So there you have it. Crops are in. Kale and some leeks, both donated. But I am going to plant more crops to germinate back at the bungalow and then take down to the allotment later on. And we're getting our first look at what's involved in clearing that pond. The ivy, almost 30 centimetres thick around the lip of the pond, and that's just the surface. Underneath the soil is going to be roots. It's going to be a mammoth task to clear it all, but it's now a passion. And I'm cheating because I know what happens because I'm recording this in November, but you'll see over the next episodes, please join me for those, you'll see more of the pond being cleared, more of the allotment getting tidied, and more joy I exude because of what's going on. Please, if you haven't done so already, subscribe to the channel, like the video, talk to me about your experiences in the comments, help me. Let's get this all rolling. Take care. Bye bye now.